Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. So before I begin, I would like to see a show of hands of the not-for-profit folks in here. All right. Give it up for the not-for-profit. Yes. So what I'm going to share with you, this is speaking directly to you and for you. However, everyone is going to benefit from this journey that I'm going to take you on today about maintaining our mental health in the not-for-profit world. In and of itself, not-for-profit sounds, oh my gosh, a lot of anxiety, but it doesn't have to be that way. All right, so one of the first things that I need to ask you all, when you are starting a not-for-profit, what's the first thing that you need? Nope, you don't need money. Say what? A mission, and what else? What goes with the mission? Your vision. So, in this journey, bear with me, we're going to learn how to cuss more. Yes, we're going to learn how to cuss more to maintain our mental health. So, the first thing is you have to know your mission and your vision. And I need you all to write this down. This is very practical. But I will warn you, as I go through this journey, it's going to get a little bumpy because we're talking about mental health. So the first thing that you have to do, you have to know your mission and vision. And I'm going to say M and V from this point forward. So can you imagine speaking with someone and you tell them that you're thinking about having a not-for-profit, and they ask you, well, what is your mission? What is your vision? And you have no idea. It breeds forth confusion. Confusion brings forth fear, and what does fear bring forth? Nothing but stagnation and anxiety. That is not conducive to your mental health. You have to be strategic about knowing your M and V. Because if you're not, how are you going to recruit board members? If you're talking to board members or potential trustees and they ask you, because that's typically the first thing, what is your mission? What is your vision? And then you're like, I don't really know. You're starting off at the wrong place. So you have to be very strategic about your mission and your vision. And then the second thing, you have to understand your M and V, your mission and your vision. Because what can happen in the not-for-profit world is you launch too far, too fast. What does that mean? You go after grant opportunities that have nothing to do with your M and V. It looks good on paper. You have Diane that can write a razzle-dazzle proposal. You get awarded, and guess what? You can't deliver. You can't deliver on anything because it does not align with your M and V. And what happens as a result of that? Your reputation is tarnished. You lost the money and potential other funding. So when you have a reputation like that, it plays with your mental health. Not only that, it plays with your staff's mental health. And I tell people, I'm ready to do a shameless plug here. I have a podcast called Urban Twos for Change. And I tell my audience this. Your reputation is just like your shadow. You can't outrun it. But I will test right now. I would give you $20 if you went to that side of the room and your shadow went to that side of the room at the same time. Who's down? Now, if that did happen, I think we need to have an exorcism in here because I just don't know. But you have to guard your reputation. And your reputation will secure your mental health. Because the last thing you want to do is, when we onboard staff, it's for the passion of the mission and the vision. And then you launch too far, too fast, meaning that it has nothing to do with your M&V, and your staff is not going to be 100% involved in it. Their heart is not going to be in it. They're not going to be passionate about it. And then you're going to force them to do it because, guess what? You're senior management. But your staff is miserable. And then you may get some new staff to come in. But what happens is you can create a toxic work environment. How? Because you have your initial staff that is passionate about the work, and then you have this other staff that is just here so that you can deliver your deliverables. But at the end of the day, you will not be able to deliver your deliverables because you were not in line with your mission and vision. So that's the second one. The first one is know your M&V. The second one is understand your M&V. And the third one is set parameters. Set parameters. Very simple. Set parameters around what? Your space and your time. Now this one gets a little, I told you, as we dig into this, it's going to get a little more shaky and rocky. So I need you all to put your seatbelts on because this one is really, oof. If you don't set your parameter around your space and your time, people will suck the lifeblood out of you. And then guess what? When you go home, you're good for nothing. You won't have that quality time to spend with your family. You won't have that quality time to spend with your spouse or your partner because you have given so much of yourself out there. You did not have parameters around your time and your space. You didn't put your phone on D&D, do not disturb. I know for me, I'm a grant writer, and I have to say, after 50, I have thoughts, and if I'm disturbed, that thought just flutters like a butterfly and never comes back. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was such a powerful thought. I can't get it back. I can't get it back. It's gone. Put your phone on D&D. Do not disturb. Take a break because compassion fatigue is real. Burnout is real. I experienced burnout, and it was not a good feeling. It is just awful. You can't give anything to your family when you are operating like that. I have a very good friend, and she posted something on Facebook. And she said, just because you are free doesn't mean that you are available. And that is true. I'm free to talk, to chit-chat at work, but I'm not available because my mind space is in a different place. We have to learn how to say no. So who has an agency with an open door policy? Oh, get rid of that open door policy. That open door policy is worse than an electrical fire. Wealthy people, do you believe wealthy people have an open door policy? And why not? They honor their time and their space. Why don't we? Because what it can happen, and I'm not saying that this will, but what can happen when you can't give to your family the way that you ought, you become more distant with your children, more distant in your community. And then the next thing you will do is you'll no longer be sitting across the restaurant table with your spouse. You'll be sitting across the divorce table with divorce lawyers because you did not know how to say no. So this is it's a really powerful thing, but so simple. So remember I said we're going to learn how to cuss, right? So I need you all to underline the first letter of know your M and V. No, K. The second one is what? Understand your M and V. And the third one is to set the parameter, S. So, what letters do you have? K-U-S. K-U-S. You have to, number one, know your mission and your vision. Number two, you have to understand it and be intentional about it. And number three, you have to set the parameter around your time and your space. And once you have mastered that, you can maintain your mental health. And that's what it's about. So thank you. Thank you.